folks. Welcome to the. I literally just got back from the dog PARK with the two boys there. Edition on a sunny-ish Sunday afternoon. A little bit sluggish today. I probably got like a gig hangover going. So, got into a conversation last night at the bar about a few things when we were playing, and one of them we were talking about was stolen gear and how much of it's going around. So this is gonna be not a long video today. That's why we had the rush intro. Um, just a little bit of advice for anybody who's been at it years and even beginning. Uh, you should probably write down all the serial numbers and descriptions of your equipment. Write down to your pedals, to your guitars, even the friggin' pedal board if it's visible. Um, Reason being is it gets stolen and it's moved on to a certain type of pawn shop here in the city. They don't care. They don't ask for IDs. They don't ask any questions. They just take it and they sell $500 pedals for like $10, like Strymons and everything like that shit. So um, basically, all I'd say is and then collect your serial numbers and your descriptions and all the information you can about the equipment, even blemishes. You need to be ironclad, when the cops are going down to get your gear back for you, if they indeed can. And then you want to email it or send it to yourself on a platform that you can access through other devices besides your phone. Because there was a case a couple of years ago where a guy was doing a load in his car and thought he was fine. He was back into the club, banging gear into the car, left the car running, came back out, and the car and the gear was gone. I'm not going to say anything about it, like, because I'd never leave my car running, but some people are just really trusting and figure, I've done this a million and one times and this has never happened, but it only takes that one time for it to happen, I guess. So, and it did on that day. So keep that in mind when you have a little bit of time, like a lazy Sunday. Grab your phone, take pictures and descriptions and serial numbers, and email them to yourself, or put them up on, put them Facebook, message them to yourself, or text them to yourself, text them to your partner, but just get them somewhere where you'll always have that information. And then, God forbid, if somebody takes your equipment, steals it, or whatever, you know, through force, because we know that a musician lost a couple of violins there earlier this year, late last year, in a robbery, where somebody just took it off his person and then sold it. Sometimes I might try to get online too. Most of us have equipment that's really related to us. Like if somebody were selling a big Jesus orange Gretsch, and it was out there that mine was stolen, I'd probably get contacted. Certain guys have Strats, Les Pauls, and things like that. If you know that they're identifiable with that person, if you've got the serial number, you got somebody dead to rights if they're trying to sell it online through marketplace or whatever. So that's my little tidbit of information today. You know, in a lesson format, I guess, or advice format. I can't really say lesson. I'm not really a teacher or anything. Um, and to respond to my video I did yesterday on the whole Battle of the Band things, I'm going to stand by what I said about being of a certain age and in a certain position in your life if you're a semi-professional or a professional musician and entering cover band battle of the bands. If you were going to win, the opening slot down Iceberg Alley, because they had like three cover bands down there last night. That's one thing, and yes, that was a bit of a dig. There's a lot of original artists in Newfoundland that didn't get a look in, that could have got a look in, but didn't. Uh, and that's my gripe. It's still a wonderful, wonderful event. I'm not going to knock it or tear it down in that regard. They bought in some terrific acts. They had a lot of nostalgia. They bought in some newer, I guess, relevant is the word a lot of people would use now. They bought in some of that stuff to the party and whatever, and people enjoyed it. And after the 3 friggin' years that we punched with COVID, God knows we could use it. So kudos to the people who organized that. I know it's a tireless effort, and they'll probably be putting equipment in cases today and planning next year's. You know what I mean? So they work tirelessly. They really work hard at this. So no disrespect meant on that part. But back to my thing about playing in a club to win a free spot in the festival. That's my opinion. I think that there are other avenues that could have went. And one idea that I thought about after I went back to Holland Swiffer over to Florida to get some dog hair up was that why not invite the School of Rock kids? Okay, these are kids that are, School of Rock is there to sort of teach them how to be musicians and how to exist in that environment and that climate. Why not let them go up and show off their skills and let them feel like rock stars for a day? But once again, that's an opinion of my own, and we'll leave it at that. And another thing we talked about at the bar last night, I'm not going to make another advice video on it. I'm probably going to be taking a little break now because it's summer. And this is what it involves: burning out. And what do you do in that case? If you're strictly a professional musician and you're living week to week and you're climatized to going weeks where you're not gigging and all of a sudden you got your rent or mortgage money, my hat goes off to you. I don't know if I can handle that. And that's probably because I'm sensitized to working a day job all my life. Well, since I was old enough to work. But I think if you're burning the candle at both ends and you're playing every night, somewhere along the way you might want to get a break in. And this was the conversation we had, because when you start to not enjoy it anymore because you're tired and because it's monotonous and you're doing the same thing over and over, you're playing the same songs. I mean, there's little things like changing your set list up. You can try all that stuff. Maybe, trying to get different venues and whatever. But this is the first year. I'm not booked to play anything over this summer until September. And here we are at the end of June. Um, I think it's like the 25th. I'm not even sure the date. Christ. But anyway, because I needed that. And as Tammy, the singer in our band, my partner, were together, she needed that as well. And I'm sure the other guys in the band need it. Perry's always working. He has a day job as well, and then has two side hustles because he's doing the band. And when he's not doing the band, he's a videographer who's shooting whatever event you may need him to shoot, whether it's a wedding, figure skating event, or whatever. He's busy. His weekends are filled up. If he's not doing that, he's playing with us. And our drummer Alex has a young family, so we're going to enjoy summer this year. And we turned down things because we just wanted to, because we were burned out. And I remember in 2015, we were just playing constantly. And that's where the burning out sort of started for me a little bit. When you start out, when you start playing, whether you're, when you're young or your band is brand new, you'll take everything. I mean, we played a warehouse opening. We played in a warehouse with racking and shit like that. It was a grand opening for them. But they paid, and you're trying to cut your teeth and you're trying to get your name out there, and you want to keep yourself looking like you're active, and you're taking those gigs. We got paid well to do it too because it was a big company, but the reality is you can also burn out. So if you need to take a couple days off, guys, maybe that might be the best thing, because music is a great thing. And somebody commented on one of my videos yesterday. I read it, and it's like they said, doesn't matter what level of musicianship you're at or skill level, once as you put it together in a band format and you play with other musicians, even if you're just jamming with your buddies playing all guitars or whatever, once as you bring it to that level, it's almost like something, and I hate to sound corny or cliche, magical happens and then the fun begins. And it's a great thing, and you don't want to lose that. I lost it a few years ago, well, 10, 12 years ago. And luckily 11 years ago, well, it'll be 11 years this August we started this band we're in now. I managed to get into a band with some people, and it's been great ever since. Anyway, those are my thoughts. Have a great Sunday.